Namaste, angels. This is the daily reading for today, Wednesday, November 13th. Energy a little less intense than it's been the past couple of days. We had a huge transit on the 11th and then the big full moon on the 12th. And so today we can take it down a little bit. There's actually a Gemini moon today as the moon leaves Taurus, where it had been full. It goes into Gemini. So in whatever house Gemini lands for you, that will be where you will feel it. And of course, for us Geminis, it's our first house of self. So if you're getting anything started, any projects or whatever, like yesterday was about endings, day before was probably about endings too, and now you're starting new things. We're going to start, speaking of starting, with the year 1789 in the history, when Benjamin Franklin writes, quote, "Nothing is certain but death and taxes," end quote. 1933, the first modern sit-down strike by Hormel meatpackers in Austin, Minnesota takes place. 1956, the U.S. Supreme Court rules that race separation on buses in Alabama is unconstitutional. 1980, or 9/9, the U.S. spacecraft Voyager number 1 sends back its first close-up pictures of Saturn. 1985, Nevado del Ruiz volcano erupts in Colombia, killing 25,000 people in the town of Armero. I think a volcano erupted today again. I just saw pictures of a volcano somewhere. Now I'm going to have to go through my Facebook. Did you know the first shipment of canned pineapple from Hawaii arrives on this day in the year 1895? Famous birthdays: Edward III, John Dickinson, Robert Louis Stevenson. Would you believe the world's earliest winemaking uncovered from Kramisdidi Gora, Georgia, in clay pots from 6000 BC? Okay, so in a very strange way, they wrote down that they discovered that wine probably began being produced in the country of Georgia in the year 6000 BC, at least, because they found evidence of it going back that far. I don't know why they write so strangely sometimes. But anyway, that happened. That discovery occurred in the year 2017. Famous weddings. 1160, the marriage of Louis VII of France with Adele of Champagne. 1929, writer E.B. White, 30, weds literary editor Catherine Angle, 37. 1934, actress and dancer Ginger Rogers, 23, weds All Quiet on the Western Front actor Lou Ayres, 25. And famous divorces: 1922, architect Frank Lloyd Wright, 55, divorces socialite Catherine Tobin after 33 years. And 2011, Tori Hart divorces actor and comedian Kevin Hart, 32, due to irreconcilable differences after 8 years of marriage. Also, probably because he had a girlfriend while he was married to her. He'd already started having a girlfriend. I think she got pregnant even while he was still married. Anyway, moving on. Famous deaths: George Grenville, Camille Pissarro, which is a man, and Elsa Schiaparelli. It would be funny if she was a man too. She's a woman. I don't know why I said it would be funny if she was a man too. That's so weird. I guess the name Elsa, because Camille is a woman's name to me. Anyway, Elsa Schiaparelli was a fashion designer from Italy. Along with Coco Chanel, her greatest rival, she's regarded as one of the most prominent figures in fashion between the two world wars. She founded her Maison Schiaparelli in 1927 in Paris, starting with knitwear, and it operated until 1954. She was renowned for her collaborations with famous artists such as Salvador Dali and Jean Cocteau, and for her innovative use of new textiles. The Schiaparelli fashion house was revived in 2013 and showed its first collection for 60 years in January of 2014. She was born on September 10th in the year 1890, another 99, in the year in Rome, Italy, rather, and was a Virgo. She died on November 13th in 1973 at the age of 83. Camille Pissarro was a painter. He was both Danish and French. He's famous because he was an influential Impressionist and Post-Impressionist French painter born to French Jewish parents on the island of St. Thomas. Thomas means twin. In the West Indies. It's one of my most famous places to be and go also, St. Thomas. I love it there. Anyway, he moved to Caracas and then Paris when he studied under such masters as Jean-Baptiste Camille Corot and Gustave Courbet. Okay. From the 1860s, his works were accepted at the Paris Salon. In 1863, another 9-9, he exhibited at the famous Salon de Refusis. As a result of the Franco-Prussian War, he fled to London, where he lived from 1870 through 71, and when he returned, he found much of his earlier works had been destroyed. Back in France, he became a mentor to younger artists such as Paul Cézanne and Paul Gauguin. In 1874, 9/11 or 11, he was also part of the first Impressionist exhibition in Paris. He was born on July 10th in 1830 in Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas, Danish West Indies, which is now the U.S. U.S. West Indies or U.S. Virgin Islands. He was a Cancer. He died on November 13th in the year 1903, which is also 13. It's like 11, 13, 13. He was 73 years old. George Grenville was a British prime minister born into a political family. His father was an MP, and Grenville entered Parliament himself in 1741 as MP for Buckingham, a seat he held until his death in 1770. As a Whig, he became a supporter of William Pitt the Elder and entered the Privy Council. He earned the support of the king, becoming the leader of the House of Commons in 1761, and the king asked him to form a government in 1763. His time in power was marked by conflict with how to deal with the political radical John Wilkes and with the legality of general warrants. He also stirred unforeseen consequences when, in an effort to pay for the 7 Years' War, he introduced taxes on the American colonies, taxes that led to organized American protests and ultimately the American Revolution. So this guy was a moron for his country, I guess. He blew it. His youngest son, William Wyndham Grenville, also became a prime minister in the year 1806. All right, I guess they weren't so mad at him. They let his son rule too. He was born on October 14th in 1712 in Watton Underwood, Buckinghamshire, England, United Kingdom, and was a Libra. He died on November 13th in 1770 at the age of 58, which is also 13. Going back up to the birthdays. Speaking of birthdays, it's my friend Carr's birthday. And he's from, and speaking of the West Indies and the islands and stuff, he's from Guyana, which is actually in South America rather. Not even really in the West Indies. It's his birthday. His name is Carr. There's a guy. Last year, I don't know what was something kept making me stumble upon all these like videos and TV shows, documentaries and stuff about Jonestown in Guyana, where all those people were killed. 909 people or 999 people? I think I think something had to do with the double nines then too. Like I think it might have been 909. Anyway, whatever amount of people were killed there. One of them's name was Carr, like my friend K-A-R, and his birthday also would have been today, the 13th. The guy was exactly 22 years, master number 22 years older than my friend Carr. But like he doesn't know him. You would think that maybe that was like a relative, but he was like named after him or something because they had the same birthday. But he's like, I have no idea who that is. Isn't that crazy? So anyway, now we're moving on to these birthdays. I don't even know if I made sense of that story. But Robert Louis Stevenson is the first one. And he was a Scottish novelist, most well known for his novels Treasure Island, Kidnapped, and The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. However, he was also a poet, travel writer, and playwright. He was born on November 13th in the year 1850 in Edinburgh, Scotland, and was a Scorpio. He died on December 3rd in 1894, which is another 13, by the way, at the age of 44 of cerebral hemorrhage. Yeah, that's it. That's all they have on him. John Dickinson was a founding father of the United States, known as the penman of the Revolution for his 12 letters from a farmer in Pennsylvania. He was also a militia officer during the American Revolution, president of Delaware, and president of Pennsylvania. He was born on November 13th in 1732 in Talbot County, Maryland, USA, and was a Scorpio. He died on February 14th in the year 1808 at the age of 75. And lastly, Edward III was the King of England from the 1st of February in the year 1327 until his death. Noted for his military success and for restoring royal authority after a disastrous reign of his father Edward II, he transformed the Kingdom of England into one of the most formidable military powers in Europe. His reign also saw vital developments in legislation and government, in particular the evolution of the English Parliament. He is one of the 6 British monarchs to have ruled England or its successor kingdoms for more than 50 years. He was born on November 13th in the year 1312. He almost made the 13-13-13, but nope, no cigar. He was born in Windsor, Berkshire, England, was a Scorpio. He died on June 21st, the last day of Gemini, in the year 1377, at the age of 64 of a stroke. And he was the last. Okay, with the dice, we are beginning with party, massage, and forget it. Spirit says sex. This also came up over the weekend in the readings. Yes. And party. The cards will begin with the Ace of Winter. Implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help you to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. I actually shuffled these already, but I guess I moved to do it a little bit again. Opening to the Two of Summer. You're falling in love or experiencing a deepening of emotion in your current relationship. Marriages or romantic partnerships in distress can still be saved. Don't give up. Two of Cups and the Prince of Winter. Decisive, focused, driven, impulsive. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make your decisions quickly. Prince of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Very, very possibly a Gemini, since again the moon is in Gemini. Gemini's ruler just had a major transit. Gemini's ruler is retrograde right now. But it could be anything. It could also be Venus, right? It could be any of these signs. It could be not one of these signs at all. We may have a decision to make, regardless of what sign we are. Or we may be awaiting a decision. And when we get it or when we make it, once that happens and, it's decided upon, things are going to, all of a sudden we're going to want to take action. We're going to run off and try to take action right away. Prince of Winter. And Tower. Major Arcana card 16. Important changes are coming to your life that will require you to take action. Don't hesitate to move in new directions that you know are right for you. But it's not going to be hesitation because, like I said, as soon as the decision is handed down, here comes the Prince of Winter. So he's, just as fast as needs to be when it comes to the Tower. But the Tower is a very fast or abrupt energy that all of a sudden, feels like things are turned upside down, perhaps for good or for bad, or indifferent, neutral. Just is what it is. It may have something to do with an actual tower, structure, home. Or relationship, especially having seen the Two of Cups. Maybe something unexpectedly happens with a relationship. Perhaps involving an air sign. And the Seven of Winter. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources such as time or peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions as well as what others might be doing behind your back. Yeah, like somebody may like stop someone or something from taking something from them or causing them to lose something, messing something up. You know, like in the what reading was that? I think it was the general. I talked about the possibility of your bills being incorrect or somebody overcharging you at the register or something. And so that, like, if they did overcharge you and they got away with it, that would be a loss to you, right? It wouldn't be like they maliciously robbed you and stole something from you, but they're still taking something from you. They're taking extra money that's really not due to them. So something like that could be potentially have the potential to occur on this day. So again, I'm just like watch your money, watch your stuff. The King of Autumn may be a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. He is compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded. Everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible, and money or resources that come your way will be invested wisely. Overall energy is the Four of Spring. It's time to kick back, relax, and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, or a very happy home life. So this too can have something to do with a home, just like I said about the Tower. Crowning the masculine today is the Ten of Winter. The end of a career path, project, or relationship brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. This kind of energy came up really, really strong in the Taurus full moon reading. Put aside your fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. Surrounding the masculine, the Prince of Summer. Very nice. Romantic, flirtatious, introspective, and enchanting. A deeply emotional and probably romantic experience will sweep you off your feet. This can be that Tower. Things can move very quickly during such whirlwind encounters, so stay balanced and make decisions with both your heart and your intellect. The Prince of Summer is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And he's winning. Masculine subconscious, the Six of Spring. You may receive a promotion, be chosen for a scholarship, or find out that you're singled out for special recognition. He may get some sort of surprise. Maybe it's his birthday, you know, somebody else's for whom I'm reading. Or this could be my friend Carr too. And he's getting some sort of surprise, gift, recognition, honor. Yeah, you've done an amazing job and you deserve all the attention. And it might be somebody who had previously struggled and they're finally getting to enjoy themselves, whether it's their birthday or not. But also the die that kept turning up, party. So that maybe there's some sort of party. Crowning the feminine, the Nine of Winter. Your worries and fears aren't real. They're fueled by focusing on the negative, which gives power to that of which you're afraid. Stop worrying, let go of fear, and everything will be okay. Feminine surrounded by. Major Arcana card 3, the Empress. It's time to hop into action. Use your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. Empress and threes, all about abundance, growth, expansion, creativity, and like you contributing, right? Coming up with helping to come up with creative ways to bring about abundance in your life. So like being a co-creator along with the universe for yourself. The Empress can also be about new things, right? New starts, new beginnings. Good day to try to get pregnant. Maybe that's why the sex die popped up. You're ovulating or something too. Especially if you want to have a baby, yes. Or somebody could be hearing if they are pregnant or even giving birth. If I don't think anybody that I'm reading for or directly to is giving birth, but maybe somebody close to you is about to have a little Scorpio. Maybe they got pregnant for Valentine's Day last year. Also, this can have to do with one's mother or with our own energy, perhaps as mothers or nurturers in general, even if we don't have kids, and or maybe represent a Taurus ruled by Venus, Libra or Gemini, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Feminine subconscious. Ooh. Three of Winter. Sadness is part of life, but You don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. I think this 3 is behind you, though. I think that it might be on your mind because of now you're on the brink of growth and expansion, and maybe that's what's scary, like memories of this, or fear that you won't really necessarily make it. But again, I think this is behind you. Feminine. Crowning. 7 of Autumn. Planning, resources, and efforts that you've invested in your dream will reap great rewards. In the meantime, have patience and meditate on your next step. So this says that we've done what we need to do in order, we've laid the groundwork basically toward whatever it is we want to do. At the root, foundation, the Princess of Winter, loyal. I'm sorry, well, I guess loyal, let's throw that out there, but it actually says logical, like I need my glasses. Truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger, who may again be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, or Mercury himself, maybe causing a delay or something, causing some sort of difficulty, challenge. That's why it's falling there in that placement. At the heart of the matter, speaking of challenge, conflict, yuck. 5 of Winter, your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome. So why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agenda of others. So when we saw the 7, we talked about somebody trying to take something from you, and then the Tower. So it's that kind of energy. But I think for a lot of us, it's past already. Like these attempts already happened. And this is us making a comeback, or realizing our own power and taking back our power and stuff like that. But I will clarify. Let's do the 3 of Winter first for the feminine. 7 of Spring. So again, I think a decision that was made, again, that it's behind you. There's the mixed feelings of joy and and sadness, but you're guided to, you put your foot down and to leave it there. Be assertive, believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take away your personal power. Didn't I just say a moment ago, I think it's about taking back power? Yeah. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. So that was the cards confirming for me that I was correct. At the heart of the matter is the 5 of Winter, in some sort of conflict potentially. Or us being conflicted, having conflicting energy. Let's see what it's about. Ace of Autumn. You can expect a windfall of abundance, such as money, timely assistance, a serendipitous meeting, or rewarding advice. You may be offered a fabulous new job or promotion, or the prospect of a profitable business venture or investment. Could be about jealousy. I spoke a lot about that also in the Taurus full moon reading, that something as good is happening for us, prosperity, growth, expansion, maybe even if we're pulling out of a rut, and people that we share that information with may not look as happy or enthused when we tell them the news as we thought they would, or we feel like they should have if they really cared about us. That's because they don't, and they're haters. So there's going to be that is happening. And, it might be because you're getting a new home, or you just remodeled your home, or you're coming into the money to do something, or something else that's going to make you happy, to travel, to, start something new of your own, maybe even your own business or something. And people are mad. It happens. Further advice to the masculine, though, is Major Arcana card 19, the Sun. Your plans will work out well, even where there was challenge, even where there was betrayal, where there was backstabbing. Plans are going to work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments that you so richly deserve. And again, that is supported by this 6 of Spring. And for the feminine, like I said, maybe even traveling. People are mad. People are jealous because you about to leave them behind, and maybe you've already begun. And they see you. They see your growth. They see you moving, making strides, and they're mad about it. Keep going. The challenging times are coming to an end, and you can now breathe a sigh of relief. Let go of the past and embrace the happier times ahead. So yeah, this is a day of starting fresh. And also, even if you're not a Gemini and it's not your first house of self where we are today with the Gemini moon, we all did share that Taurus full moon. And it was definitely about endings. Full moons in general are about endings, but the Taurus full moon was about like 12th house stuff. Like done, complete endings and moving on from certain things. So again, maybe you were awaiting a decision and it may have been something that's been painful for you and holding up your life for a long time. Let's say a legal decision, right? And it's like, well, until they decide what's going to happen, I don't know. Like your life is in limbo for all this time, and now finally decision handed down, and you can move on. Is that sort of thing, you know? So we're doing that. I hope you guys enjoy the reading, and I hope you enjoy your day. Have a good day. I'll be back tomorrow. Namaste.